first doses of the vaccine administered, the Prime Minister makes an appeal for the public to be vaccinated, and 3 furloughed employees find a silver lining in challenges presented by the pandemic. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Monday, March 15th. Well, just days after the first doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine hit the Bahamas, a public services nurse was the first person to receive the jab. Ruth Bastian, who has been a nurse since 1975, received her first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine and spoke to why she volunteered to be among the first to take the vaccine.
I don't know if I want to call myself even a volunteer. I'm a healthcare worker, and one of my duties is to promote healthy living, healthy lifestyle, and health prevention and promotion, and immunization is one of those avenues where we can help promote healthy living. And you have to put your money where your mouth is, and if I'm promoting it, there's no way I could sit back and say I'm going to wait to see what other people do. I need to be in the forefront, making sure that people see when I say immunizations are important in our country to help improve our health, that I do it myself.
Nurse Bastian has been attached to the immunization unit since 2009 and has spent a number of years in the public health system. Dr. Mercelin Dalregis, health consultant for the Office of the Prime Minister, excitedly sat down right after Nurse Bastian to receive her first dose of the vaccine as well.
I am so excited because I'm looking at the whole country returning some sense of normalcy. And personally, I would like to be able to see my kids and grandkids and to travel to go and see them. I also want to have that assurance that when I travel or wherever I go, even if I get COVID, I'm not going to get sick, I'm going to need hospitalization, and the prospects are great that for survival. And I'd like to share with each of you that I had a neighbor who was a physician who died. And I said this morning, if only we had this vaccine 15 months ago, we would have saved at least 181 lives.
Meantime, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says he would like to see normalcy restored to the entire populace sometime around May or June of this year. He says this much off the heels of taking his first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine on Sunday afternoon. That said, he makes this appeal to those still on the fence about taking the vaccine.
I think it's essential. There have been a lot of fake news and rumors about side effects and different things. But you'd notice that millions and millions of individuals throughout the world have already been vaccinated, and there have not been any difficulty or problems. And that speaks volumes. I have taken mine. There was no fear or anything. And I advise the Bahamian population to take the vaccine also, so that our country can get back to normal as quickly as possible, and we just start working. Our kids can get back to school, individuals can start playing, our athletes can get back to practicing, we can prepare for Olympics, etc. And it's essential for us to get especially our family islands back to normal and advancing them as quickly as possible.
Asked how confident he is that the majority of the country's population can get vaccinated, he says this.
I think what is amazing, as soon as individuals had heard that I and others were being vaccinated, I was amused by the amount of phone calls that I received at home. Individuals who were calling, and everywhere I stopped, I went to the supermarket this morning shopping, and people were stopping me asking when can they get the vaccine. They want the vaccine. So I think we're turning the corner now. Lots of Bahamians are now, they're understanding, and they recognize that the vaccine is it's safe and it will save lives, and that has been our real mantra, saving lives and getting us back to work.
Dr. Minnis maintains that there's no political involvement in the vaccination's rollout process. He was unable to say which grouping the vaccine will be rolled out to next, and noted that the National Committee, which is responsible for the rollout, will update the public on the vaccination program. Health officials have a plan to ensure that those people who have received the first dose of their COVID-19 vaccine will receive the second dose in a timely manner. Health consultant for the Office of the Prime Minister and former Chief Medical Officer Dr. Mercelin Del Regis spoke to reporters outside of Loyola Hall yesterday on that issue.
The second dose is within 12 weeks. There's a commitment, we've prepaid for vaccines that are due to arrive before the end of March. So we're starting now on the 14th. And if you give 12 weeks and it's the same vaccine, we've checked all of that and gotten assurances it's the same vaccine. However, if we look at the end of March and we do not, that shipment is not here, we will then have to hold vaccines until we receive that shipment to be sure that we have the second dose for the vaccine. That is how we intend to proceed.
Dr. Del Regis was speaking after receiving her first dose of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. She was among the first to receive the vaccine. The Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, and his wife, and a public services nurse also being in that group. A total of 110 people were vaccinated yesterday at Loyola Hall. The second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine must be taken within 4 to 12 weeks of the first. Data shows that the vaccine provides up to 76% effectiveness against the virus after the first dose, and that effectiveness increases to around 82 to 89% after the second dose. Minister of Health Renward Wells responding to rumors that key stakeholders were not involved in the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine. He spoke on the sidelines at Loyola Hall, where the first round of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines were rolled out.
The reality is the Ministry of Health has been driving this process. The most important persons in this process are those persons who've always been a part of the vaccination process, which is the Ministry of Health Immunization Department that has been leading the charge in regards to immunization in this country in general. This is not new. This is something that the Bahamas has been doing for probably 180 years. I mean, the first vaccination bill, the bill that we still use today to vaccinate folk, was passed in around April 6th, 1860. 1860. That's how long we've been vaccinating people in the Bahamas. And the reality is the Ministry of Health, with its very creative, innovative, bold, passionate individuals who are part of that technical team, along with the vaccination committee, has put together a fantastic vaccination program for the Bahamian people.
Minister Wells had just finished taking the first dose of the vaccine himself, fulfilling his promise to the Bahamian people that he would be among the first to be vaccinated. He expressed his contentment with the turnout of people coming to be vaccinated.
It is a very favorable, positive, exceptional response to Bahamians getting vaccinated. So despite all the noise in the marketplace from those who are anti-vacciners, we can see that a lot of the Bahamian people are wanting to step forward, willing to step forward to be able to take the vaccine. And as promised, delivered. The Prime Minister and I did say that we were going to be among the first to receive this vaccine. And so we're here today ensuring the Bahamian people that we believe in the process, we believe in what we're doing, and we're just encouraging the Bahamian people to move in the direction that we just moved in.
And you're watching JCN News. Stay with us.